what is RAG architecture, which is very, very important in order to work as an AI engineer. So now what we basically do is, whenever we are using an LLM model, we provide a response here. Sorry, we are providing an input. So whenever we provide an input, or we are able to call it as a prompt, so then what is happening is we are feeding this input or a prompt into LLM model. So we are able to get a response. That is a regular process which is happening. But because of this process, what is really the challenge is LLM models going to hallucinate. For example, you are asking a question about an organization. Let's say I'm working with an insurance company. So can you tell me about my policy? I'm asking about my XYZ policy. Now the LLMs doesn't have an information about that policy. Then what these companies are doing, instead of building my own LLM model which know about insurance, they are trying to use an architecture called as a RAG architecture. So what they are doing, they are trying to collect all the insurance documents this company is owning, maybe in a PDF file. So this contains maybe like thousands of PDF files. Now whenever someone is coming and asking, can you tell me about my insurance policy, it no need to read all the thousands of PDF files. It's a pointless. The reason is very simple. Now LLM's going to charge money based on tokens. So LLM going to charge money based on tokens. Maybe like if you are consuming 1 million tokens, there is, let's say, $5 they are trying to consume. Now it is trying to read thousands. Maybe if you are trying to work at a bigger insurance companies, it may not be 1,000 insurance documents. They're going to be lakhs or millions of insurance documents they're going to have it. Now reading all that lakhs or millions of insurance documents going to cost us a lot of money for every question customers are asking me. For that reason, what they are doing is, we are trying to split that PDFs into different chunks. What we are doing, we are trying to split that PDFs into different chunks. Maybe like we are trying to split it, maybe each insurance document into one chunk. Let's take a simple example like that. So now you are trying to divide the PDF into multiple chunks, or we are able to call it as multiple splits. So now these chunks, if I'm able to directly feed into LLM, it cannot understand that alphabetical data. So for that reason, what we are doing, we are converting the chunks into vectors. What we are doing, we are converting the chunks into vectors. The process of converting chunks into vectors, we call it as embedding. So what is that called as? We call it as embedding. Even like LLM providers going to charge money even to convert these chunks into embeddings as well. So now embeddings are like a two-dimensional matrix or a two-dimensional numbers, something like this. For example, your embedding is going to look like the 0.2, 0.3, 0.5, 0.8, something like this. So these are nothing but kind of embeddings. Now, even whenever you are providing an input or a prompt, even that prompt is also converted into embeddings before you feed it into LLM. So your LLM doesn't understand a pure alphabetical data. So for that reason, what we are doing, we are converting even that prompts also into embeddings. Now, whenever a user is asking a question, now based on that prompt, so we want to identify the similar chunks or a similar vectors which are available within this a huge lakhs and lakhs of data we have it. We want to identify only the similar information. How you are able to do? Now even the prompt is also converted into vectors or embeddings, and even the data is also converted into embeddings or the vectors. So how we are identifying the similarity between those vectors with the help of a mathematical function called as cosine similarity. What is that function? Cosine similarity. So based on this cosine similarity, so this is the equation of cosine similarity, by det of A into scale dot product between vector A and vector B divided by vector mod det of A and det of B. So based on that, we are able to identify cosine similarity. So if the difference between question and the vectors available, the millions of vectors, if they are close to getting close to 1, they are the similar documents. If they are not getting close to 1, if they are getting close to 0, they are completely different. That's how this algorithm or this vector database contains this cosine similarity mathematical equation. Whenever you ask a question, vector database has this cosine similarity. All of these embeddings are stored in vector database. So based on this question, it is able to identify the similar documents for that particular insurance. For example, XYZ insurance I'm asking for. So it is able to search out of that lakhs and lakhs of documents. It is searching the similar XYZ related insurance documents, and that on the information is called as relevant chunks. That relevant chunks are fed into LLM model. Now LLM model got a context. Okay, now in order to explain about XYZ expiry date, so what is the question he asked? Hey, can you tell me about XYZ expiry date? So in order to explain about my insurance policy expiry date, now this is the architecture you defined it. So now there is a lots and lots of millions of insurance documents. We chunked it, we converted into vectors with the help of an embedding. That when embeddings are stored into vector database, and whenever a user is asking a question, we are able to identify the relevant chunks or a similar information with the help of a cosine similarity mathematical equation, and that relevant information is fed into LLM. Now LLM got an information, okay, the expiry date is maybe like 18th July 2026, and it is able to give a response. In case if there is no external data, it's going to say, I don't know about any expiry date. I don't even know about your insurance document. So that is the kind of response it is able to give. Now, you fed this data into your LLM model. The reason this architecture is called as RAG architecture, retrieval augmented generation. So before I'm giving a response, so from an LLM model, I'm not just giving a response based on my knowledge, but I'm relying on your external data. If you want, you can able to say, can you give me the citation from which document you're able to look at and you're able to give a response. It is able to give the citations as well. Now the quality of your responses, so most of the organizations, for example, now I want to sell my products, they are using RAG architecture. So I want to build a law agent, for example, I'm building a RAG architecture. It need to work for my own organization where all my data is in SharePoint or in Confluence or in my GitHub. It need to write code based on my GitHub or based on my Confluence. I use RAG architecture. It need to study my manuals or maybe like my documentation, and it need to give a proper guidance. I'm using a RAG architecture. For every step we are doing in the real time, it runs on RAG architecture. Now, in a RAG architecture, the basic questions we need to ask is, now the quality of this relevant chunks. So we call it as, what is the quality of this retrieval? So you are able to get questions on what is the relevant retrieval you are able to provide. So you are dividing the data into chunks. What is your chunk strategy? I'm writing ch.s. Chunk, what is your chunk strategy? And it is able to generate a response. So what is the proof that it relied on your data you provided? So the quality of your generation. So you are able to get questions from the quality of your retrieval, the quality of your generation, and the quality of your chunking strategy, and how you optimized this architecture at a scaling level of 1 million documents or 100 million documents, how you are scaling it constantly. So these are the questions you need to prepare if you are going to work around RAG architecture, and you must have RAG based projects in your resume. I hope you got an idea what is RAG architecture, and within this RAG there are types, as I said. So now there is advanced RAG strategies also, we have it. Now this is a regular RAG. So you got hybrid RAG, you got graph RAG, you got re-ranking RAG, you're able to see agentic RAG, you got a corrective RAG. There are different RAG strategies to improve the performance of your RAG architecture. They ask questions even on that. I hope you got an understanding of what is RAG. Any doubts you have, please share your views in the comments.